I have spent years thinking that everyone else had something that I didn't have, some kind of natural confidence, right? Some kind of like inner calm that I just could not access. And they had it. And then one conversation changed everything for me. This is episode 8 of the new Interpretive series. It is a 10-part series closing the gap between how good you actually are and how good you feel. And if you're just joining us, you're welcome. You can start at episode 1. The link will be in the description box below. And yeah, let's get into it. I want to start off by sharing an experience of mine. I want to talk about an assignment that I had. When you look at me on the external while doing this assignment, I looked completely fine, right? Yeah, generally fine. Like I got this. I was looking professional. I was doing my thing. I was calm. I was like producing whatever. I was smiling in the right places. I was nodding. I was like, yeah, doing the work. Hands were waving, talking, everything. And if you had walked past me, the room I was at the time, you would have thought, yeah, she's got this. She is doing it. Like, wow. Meanwhile, internally, it was absolutely the opposite. And the strange thing is, nothing had gone horribly wrong while doing this assignment. It was just one of those intensive appointments that was like really demanding, where everyone in the room seemed sharp, like confident. They've got this. Like people were like speaking quickly at top of each other, like things were happening, interruptions were going on. It was all happening, right? And jumping in from one point to another. This person like, so my brain suddenly decided that this was a survivor mission to like make sure we are keeping up with this room. So there I was interpreting, doing my thing while having a whole second conversation internally, right? Inside my own head. Like this is what I was talking, this is what was happening in my head while I was doing my thing. Wait, Nene, what did they say? Hang on, catch up here. Like, don't panic, like calm down. You've got this. Like manage the room, let them know. You're fine. Well, why does the voice suddenly sound weird to you? Is another thought that was coming in my head. Why do they keep voice and facial expression not looking normal? Why do they look confused? Focus, Nene. Do this. Because now I am now thinking about focusing. Meanwhile, externally, I am still interpreting. Does that sound like still sounding calm, right? Still doing a thing, still functioning. And that was the exhausting part of the management I had to do. It wasn't the assignment itself. It was the amount of energy it took trying to maintain that gap, right? Between how I looked on the outside and what was actually happening on the inside. That's where my energy went to. That was where the exhaustion was. Because the whole time I was trying to do two jobs at once, interpreting the conversations, doing that, and then managing myself in real time, managing my own face, right? Managing my own interaction, managing whether I looked confident enough, managing whether nobody could tell I was spiraling. I even remember one specific moment where everyone in that room, right, laughed at something. And I just I just laughed too. Meanwhile, my brain was still stuck, right? Trying to process the previous sentence. I felt like like I slightly missed. Externally smiling, engaging, whereas internally, please just catching up. Just doing a thing. Please don't lose the thread. Don't freeze here, Nene. Just do what, like just get on. And then by the end of that assignment, I was just exhausted. Not physically tired, mentally drained from monitoring myself the entire time. Yeah, it was that exhausting, right? And for years, I genuinely thought I was the only interpreter experiencing that. I thought it was just me. I honestly believed everyone else was it just felt naturally calm. They just got this. They just had this natural confidence in them. They naturally just secure in their being that they had something I just didn't have. They ate and I didn't. And then one day, I was sitting with another interpreter after an assignment, and someone I really respected, a really solid interpreter in their own right, experience. They had years on them. They like done the work. There was really like the tonality, the expression, everything, they completely composed as a being. And then during the conversation we had, just a casual conversation, they just mentioned that they nearly like the spiral during the booking earlier that week. And I just stared at them like, you did what? Because I was there and there was absolutely no sign that this was a thing. There was no panic in their voice. There was no visible wobble. Nothing to suggest that this is what was actually going on. And that was when it hit me like, oh my gosh, okay, everyone out there here looking composed while in telling they're trying not to lose their plot. Like, wow, it was such an aha. And here's what I actually want you to hear from this is that the most confident interpreter in the room is also managing something inside. Always is. The difference is not that they feel more confident than you. The difference is that they have stopped waiting. Stop waiting to feel confident before they show up inconfident, right? They act first. The feelings then follow, right? They go in. And here is the thing. Psychologists have called what we are doing emotional labor, the work of managing the gap. It is a thing between how you feel and what you are displaying, right? Is that emotional labor. And here is what research has also shown that that gap, if it gets too wide for too long, it, it can lead to exhaustion. It leads to burnout, disconnecting from the work you love, if you allow it to. So the goal is not to perform confidence forever. That was never the goal. The goal is to build from the inside so that that gap closes naturally and it doesn't take you or lead you to some form of exhaustion, burnout, and the otherwise. Because confidence is not a feeling you wait for, right? It is a behavior that you get to build every time you show up anyway. You are building it. Even when you feel like you are falling apart on the inside, you are giving your nervous system new evidence, right? By doing it, evidence that you are safe in this room, you're safe in this space, you're safe in your career, in your duty, evidence that you belong there, evidence that you can handle what comes. That's what we're telling our nervous system and training it, that you have built that from evidence. Every single assignment that we get to do, we are building that evidence. Even the hard ones is a form of evidence. We've talked in previous videos on how we can anchor that into that which we want, especially the hard ones, right? Especially that. So here is the one thing I want us to we get to do before every assignment so that we can start closing that gap from the inside before we get to show up. So before you even walk into the room, into the space, into whatever it is, take about 30 seconds, just 30 seconds, and just say this to yourself, right? I have shown up before. I have handled hard or unfamiliar moments before. I am not performing confidence today, right? I am choosing it. And that is not positive thinking. This is identity work we are doing. You are reminding yourself of the evidence, of the things that have already existed, of the things that you've handled, of the things that you've gone through. So every assignment you have ever completed is evidence. You belong in that room. You get to stay in there and you use it to your advantage moving forward. Get to remind yourself and anchor yourself that you've got this. Because you are not falling apart. You are managing something, right? And just like everyone else in that room, the difference then becomes from today on, you know that now, and now knowing changes everything. Now you get to show up. So you stop waiting to feel confident moving forward, right? You start choosing it, using it for self. That one assignment at a time. As you're showing up, you're choosing that's what's going to be, right? You get to put that forward every step of the way. And now in episode 7, we are now moving into something totally different, something different, because we spent the last 8 episodes just meeting you in the struggle, like just talking about what's showing up, what's happening, all those things. Now we get to talk about how do we now walk into an assignment? How do we now start feeling like we belong in the space? How do we feel like, yes, I've got this? I'm not performing this. No, I'm not pretending. I'm not like, no, I'm actually feeling it. How do we get to start doing that? So, episode 9, the link would also be in the description box below. And yeah, just anchor all that in because and also to remind you, the identity reset for interpreters, the waiting list is now open. The link also will be in the description box. And yeah, can't wait. See you in the room. I am Nene, and we do this every single day. Remember that your voice matters and it's your time. Bye for now.